On the northwest corner of Clark and Fifth Streets lies a plain white brick building with no sign indicating what it is. From the outside, it could be any store you've seen before, but when you walk into it, you can see hundreds of Asian groceries and smell different flavors of Asian seasonings. The store stocks everyday items, but specializes in traditional Asian food, such as dried winter mushroom, hot pot seasoning, and fermented soybean curd. The grocery also sells special Chinese snacks for traditional festivals, such as mooncakes for Mid-Autumn Festival and zongzi for Dragon Boat Festival. Du Chengqian, a freshman of University of Illinois, says he usually comes here to buy fried bean curds and Chinese five spices.
有很多就中国的调料
I
然后中国的
usually buy
零食
Chinese
中国的
seasoning,
饮料这种
snacks, and
像
drinks
还有这种
here.
这边的米比较好
Also, the rice here is better,
就
so
对
if you
如果
want
你
to
要做
cook
中国菜的
Chinese
话一定要
cuisine,
在这边
it
买
would be
你
better
在
to
沃尔
buy
玛
the
买回来的
food
东西
here.
那肯定是不大好做
There are more Chinese customers in the store, but the store also attracts other nations' customers, such as American, African American, Middle Eastern, Hindu, and Vietnamese. Kenny Donglamela comes from Thailand. He is buying vegetables on Far East with his friends.
I sometimes go Maya, not all the time, but we come here a lot. It has all the Asian food that I asked for.
The owners usually talk with customers in English, but because the Deep family is half Chinese and half Vietnamese, they can also communicate with customers in Chinese and Vietnamese. Michelle Glinson, a student of University of Illinois, goes to Far East twice a month.
I can only find bok choy and wonton soup here at Far East and probably not at Walmart.
Customers here are half students, half non-students. Many students continue going to Far East grocery after they have graduated and found a job at Urbana-Champaign. Vivia Deep, the daughter of the shop owner, but also a staff of the store, says their family has run Far East since 1987.
We provide more traditional stuff than the wholesale, like Kikkoman. You can get Kikkoman anywhere. That's a wide, well-known brand from all over U.S., China, Japan. That's something they can get anywhere.
Their items are brought from New Jersey, California, and Chicago, where the big companies like Kikkoman import the goods from China and Taiwan. Junwei Meng, whose wife is a student of University of Illinois, says he goes to Far East once a week to buy Chinese seasoning and food because he couldn't find it elsewhere near campus. However, he usually doesn't buy vegetables here. I usually don't buy vegetables here because the Chinese vegetables in this grocery are brought in from China by air, so they're relatively more expensive. According to Christina Chuan, the wife of the shop owner, the grocery store is completely run by the Deep family members. That includes herself, her husband, their kids, several of their nephews, and her cousin.
My husband is a roommate from my sister and my brother-in-law. It's roommates,
Oh.
And I came in, I meet my husband, and we get married.
Did you remember the year you made the logo?
1985. I come here only 3 months and I get married.
Oh.
It's long story, very long stories.
Christina originally lived in the South Vietnam. In 1975, the North Vietnam conquered the South Vietnam. Christina couldn't go to college due to warfare. In 1981, she took a small boat to secretly transfer to Hong Kong, which was illegal in Vietnam at the time. Many Vietnamese, like Christina, fled Vietnam through this way. They were called the boat people, who could go to jail if the Vietnamese government caught them on the sea. Both people had to face storms, diseases, starvation, and elude pirates. Around 70% people died at the sea. Christina was only 17 years old when she fled to Hong Kong. Christina then stayed in Hong Kong for 5 years. In 1985, she went to U.S. with the help of her sister, who was adopted by a U.S. couple and brought to U.S. earlier. Christina met her husband in Champaign, where they both lived, and got married. Her husband's family was originally Chinese. They left China in 1945 during the Second Sino-Japanese War and went to Vietnam to open their first grocery store. Her husband was adopted by a U.S. woman in 1979 at age 17. In 1985, Christina met her husband and they got married. In 1986, they bought the grocery store from a Taiwanese businessman and expanded the scale of the store step by step.
Our kids born in United States of America, born in here, so they don't know all the past. We came to Hong Kong. My husband came to Malaysia. It's a very long story. We don't have food to eat. We don't have no clothes to wear. A lot of a long story, but that's I don't want to remember.
In 2010, they greatly remodeled it due to the surging of international students, adding up the air conditions and other equipment.
We work so hard because we need to, and we need to sometimes have fundraising, some American donation from American breast cancer, from students. Anywhere they need help, we can help them. Because we come here, they adopt us. Anywhere in the world. We don't care what country, we don't care who you are, but we are the same human being.
The store gets fresh shipment every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. After classes, the store usually has a lot of customers. Calvin Depp is the brother of Vivia, who also works at the store. Is work here busy?
Yeah, a lot. Very busy. Too busy to talk a lot of times. 4668.
I want both. The rest.
Okay.